Hello everyone, welcome to Lukmaan IAS. Today we are going to have an analysis of the UPSC Mains exam GS Paper-III, and we are going to discuss about the science and technology section of this paper. We are going to discuss in detail all the questions that are from the science and technology section. Alright, so let us start the discussion for the day. Let us quickly see the, let's say, number of questions that have been asked. And before that, let us go through the syllabus of UPSC, right? So this is the syllabus of science and technology. So prominently it has three different lines, right, as part of syllabus in UPSC. So these are, like, one of the lines says science and technology developments and their applications and effects in everyday life. Means the first line of the syllabus itself, it says about the importance of reading current affairs related to science and technology, means developments and their applications and effects in everyday life. Okay, this is the first part of the syllabus. Then the second part of the syllabus says achievement of Indians in science and technology, indigenization of technology and developing new technology. This is also a very important theme in the syllabus. From here many questions come every year. This year, let's say, like, there was a topic that was in news because of the demise of MS Swaminathan. So it is probable that UPSC may ask a question on this topic in the coming years. Already UPSC has asked on that topic 2 times. So it is important that before you start preparing for science and technology, you need to be aware what is the syllabus of science and technology. So this is the second line of the syllabus. The third line of the syllabus says awareness in the fields of IT, space, computers, robotics, nanotechnology, biotechnology, and issues relating to intellectual property rights. All right. So Chirag has joined us. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining. Vijay Lal, good evening. Thank you so much for joining. So I want you people to participate during the discussion. All right. So today we are going to look into those questions that have been asked from the UPSC CSE 2023 paper. So there was a question in this year's science and technology section that is from the space sector. Okay, it is related to third moon mission of India. So from this topic they have asked a question. Then second topic they have asked a question from the computers. Okay, computers, or we can say information technology. This is related to artificial intelligence. So from the third line itself there were 2 topics. Okay, so they have asked about artificial intelligence. Then if we talk about the third topic, third question, so it was from biotechnology. Okay, so they have asked usage of artificial intelligence in, let's say, diagnosis, disease diagnosis, etc. So each line of the syllabus is important. You need to memorize, right, the syllabus. So having looked into the syllabus, so let us see how many questions they have asked. So basically this year they have asked 3 direct questions from science and technology section. Okay, 2023, there were 2 questions of 10 mark and then 1 question from 15 mark. Okay, so 3 questions, and there were 4 related topics from science and technology that are, let's say, connected with other areas. For example, science and technology with economy, science and technology with environment and ecology. So there are topics like that as well. So let us quickly see these questions. So one of the question is this question number, let's say, 5 in the paper, question number 5 in GS Paper-III. So this was the question. Then we have question number 15, right, and question number 16 in the paper. So they are directly from the science and technology area. Apart from this, there are 4 other questions also, and these questions are related to science and technology, means they have, let's say, interdisciplinary approach. The first question is status of digitization in Indian economy. So digitization is part of science and technology, but this is connected with economy. Second, e-technology helps farmer. So science and technology, added with agriculture or farmers development. Then they have asked about microorganism, right, in meeting the current fuel storage. So this is directly from science and technology. However, it can be interpreted as part of environment and ecology also. Then we have another topic. It says the use of unmanned aerial vehicle, means drones, by our adversaries across border, means science and technology interconnected with internal security. Okay, so we see that science and technology does have its application in various fields. They can be connected with various fields. So it is important that whenever you are preparing for science and technology, you need to prepare keeping two things in mind. One thing is like the topics that you are preparing, they have a direct bearing or direct relevance with the science and technology portion, and also you need to read those topics that may have, let's say, applications in various other fields. For example, in economy, for example, in environment and ecology, and also internal security, maybe in society as well. Okay, so that's the thing. So having understood this, now let us look at the first question of the day. Okay, first question that we are going to discuss. This question says, what is the main task of India's third moon mission? Okay, what is the main task of India's third moon mission which could not be achieved in its earlier missions? Okay, this is like in this question there are multiple parts. Okay, one of the part is this one. Okay, one part is they are asking about what is the main task. They are asking about objectives of Chandrayaan-3 mission. Okay, objectives means what is the main task. Main task means objective of India's third moon mission, of Chandrayaan-3 mission, which could not be achieved in its earlier missions. Earlier missions means we had Chandrayaan-1 mission and Chandrayaan-2 mission, but Chandrayaan-3 mission is a follow-up mission of Chandrayaan-2 mission. Okay, so Chandrayaan-3 is a follow-up mission on Chandrayaan-2. So some of the objectives of Chandrayaan-2 mission was not fulfilled. To fulfill those unfulfilled objectives, we have launched Chandrayaan-3 mission. So the first part of the question, it says, what is the objective of Chandrayaan-3 mission? They are directly asking this thing. So this question has been asked, right? Has been asked after, let's say after the launch, but before it has soft landed on the south pole of the moon. So it is important that you need to identify the parts of the question. You need to understand the question. So we have identified the first part of the question. Then second, it says, list the countries that have achieved this task. So this is the second part of the question. Second part means list the countries, write down the names of the countries that have achieved soft landing on the moon, on the surface of the moon. Okay, so this is second part of the question. Third part of the question, it says introduce subsystems in the spacecraft launched. Okay, introduce subsystems. When we talk about subsystems, we are talking about the components in the Chandrayaan-3 mission. We have, let's say, the propulsion module, we have lander module, we have rover module, and in each of these modules we have, let's say, various sub components also. So we need to introduce about them. So this is third part of the question. Then the fourth part of the question is explain the role of the virtual launch control center at the Vikram Sarabhai Space Center, which contributed to the successful launch of the from Sriharikota. So effectively, if we talk about this question, they are asking four different things in the question. First thing, they are asking about the objectives of Chandrayaan-3 mission. Second thing, they are asking about the countries that have, right, that have, let's say, successfully done a soft landing on the moon. Third thing, they are asking about the subsystems, means you need to introduce about the payloads of the Chandrayaan-3 mission. Fourth, they are talking about the role of the virtual launch control center at the Vikram Sarabhai Space Center, okay, VSSC, which contributed to the successful launch from Sriharikota. So these are the four prominent parts to answer this question. But you also need to know what is Chandrayaan mission, what are moon missions, okay. So what we have done is, let's say, like, in the description of this video, we have uploaded the model answer of all these questions from science and technology. After the discussion, you can download the model answer, you can go through it, okay. So the thing is, like, this answer structure of this question would be introduction. You need to write an introduction, what are moon missions of India. In broader context, you need to write about what is moon mission of India, okay. Then in the body, right, so initially you need to talk about the moon missions of India. Then you need to connect it with the moon mission 3, which is Chandrayaan-3 mission. After then, in the body, you need to address all the four parts, okay. All the four parts of the question has to be answered in the body itself. Then you need to write down the way forward and conclusion, okay. Way forward and conclusion should be written at the end of the answer. Now, so having understood this, as we all know that India has moon missions, right. So far we have launched 3 moon missions. The moon mission 1, which is known as Chandrayaan-1. It has been launched in 2008, but in 2009 it became, let's say, defunct, in the sense that it stopped giving us information, right? So that was the thing. Then Chandrayaan-2 mission, right? So what are the objectives of Chandrayaan-3 mission, 1 mission? So this is just for your understanding, okay? So I have written the goals of India's previous lunar missions. For example, the Chandrayaan-1 mission, what was one of the goal? Mapping of the lunar surface, okay? So we wanted to map the lunar surface. Then studying the distribution of elements and minerals. Then searching for water ice on the moon. So these were the objectives of Chandrayaan-1 mission that was launched in 2008. However, it became defunct in 2009. So that's why we have planned for another moon mission. And that another moon mission was launched more than a decade later. 2008, first Chandrayaan mission. Then we had 2019, the Chandrayaan-2 mission. So what were the objectives of Chandrayaan-2 mission? One thing is like we wanted to study lunar geology. We wanted to understand the presence of water ice. We wanted to demonstrate India's ability to perform a soft landing on the moon, okay? So the thing is, in the Chandrayaan-2 mission, there were, let's say, different modules. One was, let's say, a rover, orbiter module. We had a lander module. We had a rover module also. The orbiter module of Chandrayaan-2, right? The orbiter module of the Chandrayaan-2 is still functioning, okay? Orbiter is still functioning, right? But the thing is, the lander could not make a soft landing on the surface of the moon, okay? So lander was, let's say, it has crash landed. So that's why lander and rover of Chandrayaan-2 mission could not do its work. It could not perform, right? So that's why we have thought of launching another mission, which is Chandrayaan-3 mission. So Chandrayaan-3 mission was launched in 2023, right? Just 4 years after. 4 years after Chandrayaan-2 mission, we have launched Chandrayaan-3 mission. Now let us see, what is the pace of development. From Chandrayaan-1 to Chandrayaan-2, we have taken more than a decade. I mean, around 11 years. Chandrayaan-2 to Chandrayaan-3, we have just taken 4 years. And maybe for Chandrayaan-1, we have taken a long time, right? So that's the thing. So the pace of development is increasing. So Indian Space Research Organization is able to perform at its level best. That's the thing, okay? So the thing is we have now understood about what were the goals of Chandrayaan-1 and 2 missions. However, you don't need to write down all the goals in the answer. We have provided the model answer also. I am doing a discussion so that I can make you understand, right, how to write an answer and what are the things that you need to mention in your answer. So having understood this, now let us understand about goals of Chandrayaan-3 mission. Goals means objectives of Chandrayaan-3 mission. In this question, they have asked, what is the main task of India's third moon mission? Main task means what is the objective of third moon mission? So under the main task, you need to write down all these 3 components, okay? Main task is to demonstrate soft landing capacity on the south pole of the moon. So we wanted to demonstrate a soft landing capacity on the south pole of the moon, okay? So let's say, just quickly, let's draw the diagram of the moon. Let's say this is the moon, right? So this is the south pole of the moon. This is the north pole of the moon. We wanted to demonstrate the capacity of making a soft landing, okay? We wanted to demonstrate the capacity of making a soft landing on the south pole of the moon. So we have landed our Chandrayaan-3 mission over here. So this was the objective, okay? Means we wanted to demonstrate the soft landing capacity on the south pole of the moon. Apart from this, we wanted to demonstrate the rover to rove on the surface of the moon. Rover means the module that will come out of the lander. So once a successful soft landing happens on the south pole of the moon, from the lander module, another module will come out of it, that is known as rover. So this rover actually is a kind of vehicle, okay? It's a kind of a small vehicle. So it has, let's say, let's say this is the rover. So it has wheels on it, okay? It has, let's say, 4 wheels on it. So this was known as rover. So we wanted to demonstrate the capacity that this rover will be able to rove on the surface of the moon, will be able to travel on the surface of the moon. Okay, so that was the second objective of Chandrayaan-3 mission. What was the third objective of Chandrayaan-3 mission? To conduct in situ chemical analysis on the surface of the moon. Means we wanted to conduct an analysis like, what are the constituents in moon. Means like we wanted to do an analysis of the, let's say, rock samples on the moon. We wanted to do chemical analysis to identify, right, what components are there on moon, right, what minerals are found. And all these three objectives has been successfully achieved by Chandrayaan-3 mission. Means like all the three objectives, the objective of making a soft landing on the surface of the moon, the objective of demonstrating the rover to rove on the surface of the moon, and the objective of conducting in situ chemical analysis. So Chandrayaan-3, the rover module, has given information what are the components inside the on the surface of the moon. So that's the thing. So through scientific experiments, we wanted to do chemical composition analysis. Okay, that's the thing. So these were the objectives, right? So this is what you have to write down in the answer. First of all, you need to introduce what are Chandrayaan missions, right? What are moon missions? Moon missions are known as Chandrayaan missions in India. You need to give a brief introduction. Then you need to talk about the objectives of Chandrayaan-3 mission according to this answer. So this will fulfill the requirement of first part of the answer. Having answered that, you need to mention about, list the countries, okay, list the countries that have achieved this task. List the countries that have achieved the task of soft landing. So it does not mean that, like, soft landing on the south pole of the moon. No, you need to list the name of countries that have done a soft landing on the surface of the moon. So these countries would be United States of America. So they have made soft landing on the surface of the moon through its Apollo program. Okay, and they have even put astronauts, they have sent human beings on the surface of the moon. That's the thing. Then Soviet Union. So Soviet Union conducted the first successful soft landing on the moon with the Luna 2 mission in 1959. So Soviet Union was the first country in the world to have a soft landing, right? But the thing is, Soviet Union got disintegrated. Now, like, out of Soviet Union, many countries emerged. The largest country that has emerged is Russia. Okay, that's the thing. Now Russia is in a state of warfare with Ukraine, we know all, right? Then third country is China. China has successfully achieved soft landing on the moon with the Chang's mission. Okay, China has Chang mission, so Chang 3 and Chang 4. So, like, through these missions they have done a soft landing on the moon. So these are the three countries that have done soft landing on the surface of the moon. So these three countries, okay, these three countries are those countries that have done soft landing. It is important for us to know this. India became the fourth country in the world to have demonstrated the capacity of soft landing. So India became a part of select group of those countries that have achieved this feat. Okay, so we have entered into the elite club of spacefaring nations who have not only reached moon but have also done a soft landing on the surface of the moon. That's the thing. And we have done soft landing on south pole of the moon, and that was precisely, India became the first country to have demonstrated the capacity of soft landing on the south pole of the moon. So now what we have done, we have answered two parts of the question. Okay, we have answered two parts of the question by writing this. Now what was the third part? They are saying introduce the subsystems in the spacecraft, okay, launched. So you need to talk about the subsystems in the spacecraft. Even if you do not know the, let's say, like, these modules are known as scientific payloads, but broad components you could mention in the answer. For example, the subsystems in the spacecraft include lander module, it includes a rover module, it includes a propulsion module, right? So lander module has, let's say, 4 scientific payloads as part of it. One of the payload is known as Rambha LP. Second payload is known as CHASTE. Third payload is known as ILSA. Fourth payload is known as LRA. Okay. Fourth payload is known as LRA. So the thing is, what I have done is, like, I have provided the model answer to this, right? So you can download this model answer So in the model answer, you can go through the details of these scientific payloads, right? Rambha, LP, CHAST, ILSA, LRA. Rambha stands for Radio Anatomy of Moon-Bound Hypersensitive Ionosphere and Atmosphere. Okay, this is Rambha. LP means Langmuir probe. So what is the objective of Rambha LP? That is also mentioned over here. This is to measure the near surface plasma, ions and electrons density, and its changes with time. Okay, that's the thing. So this is, so as part of lander module, they have 4 components here. Okay, they have 4 subparts. As part of rover module, they have 1 subpart. As part of propulsion module, they have 1 subpart, right? So just check the description also, download this. Chirag has written something. Have we successfully mapped the lunar surface on the moon under first mission? Yes, we have successfully mapped. Mapped means like we wanted to have a rover, and that rover has, let's say, like, like done an analysis from the top of the moon. It did not have a let's say, like, objective of doing a landing on the surface of the moon. So we wanted to just roam around and gather the information from here. We were gathering the information, we were getting the information for about a year from that thing. And after then the Chandrayaan-1 mission, I mean, like, it has stopped giving data to us. Okay, so it has malfunctioned after 1 year in 2009. Okay, so that's the thing. So Rambha LP, so we have mentioned about these payloads also, right? These payloads and also their objectives in the model answer. Then what is CHAST? It's known as Chandra's Surface Thermophysical Experiment. Okay, Chandra's Surface Thermophysical Experiment means CHAST would be able to do the thermophysical experiment, means like it will be able to gather temperature related information, means like, during the day on the moon, right, what is the temperature? During the night on the moon, what is the temperature? And if we talk about day and night on the moon, so day and night on the moon is, let's say, like, is known as sidereal day. Okay, that is known as sidereal day. What do we mean by sidereal day? One sidereal day is equal to 14 Earth days. Okay, is equal to 14 Earth days. So like we have 14 days on Earth, 14 days, 14 nights, and that will be one sidereal day on the moon. Okay, that's the thing. So this CHAST was there to understand the thermophysical thing, means like what is the change in temperature on the surface of the moon. During the daytime, the temperature reaches up to, let's say, 50-60 degree, but during the night time it goes below 200 degrees centigrade. So that's why the Chandrayaan-3 mission that we have launched, it had a mission lifetime of 1 sidereal day only. Okay, it had a mission lifetime of 1 sidereal day, means like, just 14 Earth days, and during that time it has let's say done done in situ chemical analysis. It has demonstrated the rover to rove on the surface of the moon, means like it has achieved all the objectives during those 14 days. And after then, let's say, like, it was put on a hibernation mode, and then later on ISRO has tried, right, to wake all the systems up again, but it did not wake up, because like ISRO did not plan for, let's say, like, making the Chandrayaan-3 mission to survive in such a extreme low temperature. Okay, that's the thing. So this is the thing. So what is the third module? It is known as ILSA, means Instrument of Lunar Seismic Activity. Okay, Instrument of Lunar Seismic Activity, ILSA. Seismic activity means earthquake related information. So ILSA would provide, let's say, earthquake related information related to the surface of the moon, means like, does earthquake happen over there? If earthquake happens, what is the intensity and all? So this is just to check the earthquake related seismic activities on the surface of the moon. Then we had LRA. LRA means fourth component of the lander module. LRA says it is laser retro reflector array. It is a passive experiment to understand the dynamics of moon system. Okay, so these were the, let's say, components of the lander module. If we talk about the rover module, right, rover module had 2 components. One of the component is known as LIBS, and second component is known as APXS. Okay, LIBS means laser induced breakdown spectroscope. Okay, laser induced breakdown spectroscope. So what was the, let's say, objective of this laser induced breakdown spectroscope? Qualitative and quantitative elemental analysis, and to derive the chemical composition and infer mineralogical composition to further our understanding of lunar surface. So the thing is, if I talk about this LIBS, it was part of rover module. It used to take samples from the surface of the moon. It used to analyze the samples and give us information about composition on the samples, means like what type of atoms are present there, what types of minerals are present there, what is the constituents of those elements. So that was the part of the rover module. And like if you have followed regularly the updates from ISRO, right, so you might have also noticed that it had talked about various components. ISRO has shared those information through its website and through the platform X, which was earlier like Twitter. Then we have AP Access. Okay, AP Access is also one of the module of the, let's say, one of the payloads on the rover module, and this is known as alpha particle X-ray spectrometer. Alpha particle X-ray spectrometer. Okay, so what is a spectrometer? A spectrometer is a kind of instrument. What this instrument does, this particular instrument actually does, let's say, like, an analysis how the matter interacts with the light, and then it analyzes the behavior of the matter, analyzes the properties of the matter, like that. So to determine the chemical composition, like magnesium, aluminum, silicon, potassium, calcium, titanium, iron, etc., of lunar soil. Okay, so this particular thing, it wanted to demonstrate like what is the component of, what are the constituents of lunar soil. Okay, like on Earth we have soil, on Moon also we have soil. Okay, so it did analysis of the lunar soil, that's the thing. Then we had a propulsion module. Okay, I have also included some images for you. Propulsion module has one of the payload which is known as SHAPE, spectropolarimetry of habitable planet Earth. SHAPE, future discoveries of smaller planets in reflected light would allow us to probe into variety of exoplanets. Okay, so this is the thing, I mean, like, so this was the third part of the question. If you have written the subsystems, right, in the Chandrayaan-3, in the third moon mission, so subsystems included lander module, rover module, propulsion module, and if possible you may have written these subcomponents also, like, Rampa, CHASTE, or ILSA, LRA, like that. Okay, so after answering all the three components, now you need to answer the fourth component of the question, fourth part of the question. What is the fourth part? It says virtual launch control center. Okay, virtual launch control center. So you need to talk about what is virtual launch control center. Actually, I have taught about virtual launch control center in one of the Hindu newspaper analysis discussion, right? So I will share the link also of that. Right, so this virtual launch control center, it had various work. One of the thing is simulation. Simulation means, like, through computers doing the exact activity that the physical instruments performed, means mapping everything through computer, that, like, this is how it is going to be, like, it is going to be launched, this is how it is going to, let's say, move from Earth till the moon, this is how it is going to do a landing. So that is known as simulation activity. Okay, mapping activity, I would say, right? Then launch countdown is done by the virtual launch control center. It does the real-time monitoring of the, let's say, like, Chandrayaan-3 mission. Then it does the communication with the systems in the Chandrayaan-3. Okay, communication with different parts, so that it gathers information, scientific information from various parts of the Chandrayaan-3 mission. Then contingency planning. Contingency planning means if in case something unplanned activity happens, if something unplanned happened, so in that case, which systems is to be, let's say, turned on, that is known as contingency, means, like, planning for the emergency situations. Okay, that's the thing. Safety protocols, system control, data analysis. These are the works that are performed by the Virtual Launch Control Center, which is located at Vikram Sarabhai Space Center. Okay, it is done by Vikram Sarabhai Space Center. So these are the things So these are the 4 parts of the question that you need to answer. Okay, 4 parts of the question. After you have answered all the 4 parts of the question, then you need to give a suitable way forward and conclusion. Okay, so that will make your answer complete. So these are some of the images of the Chandrayaan mission, right? Chandrayaan mission. So what is this? This is a lander module. Okay, the first image that we see over here, I'm going to write. Okay, this is the lander module of the Chandrayaan-3. Okay, this is lander module. This is the lander module. Okay, this is the lander module. And this one, what is this? This is the rover module. Okay, this is the rover module. It is known as Pragyan rover. Okay, Pragyan rover. So this rover, I mean, like you see, it does have wheels, right? So from the lander module, rover module, like once it made a soft landing on the surface of the moon, it will, let's say, expand its wing, then like from here the rover will come out. Okay, so rover module has come out of it. In the rover module, they have a solar panel also. So from the solar panel, it will get, let's say, like, you know, energy from the sun, and it will power the systems in the, what we say, power the systems on the this rover module. So lander module has various sub-components. Okay, various sub-components over here. So these things we have discussed, some of these important ones. Then we have the rover module. Having understood about lander and rover module, now let us see about one more thing, which is an integrated module. Basically, like, you know, this is an integrated module. In the integrated module, we have a propulsion module. This one, the lower portion, it's a propulsion module. Then this is the lander module, and inside the lander module we had rover module also. Okay, we have rover module. So this is the image of integrated module. So this module, like, we have sent, right, through the Chandrayaan-3 mission. Okay, so this propulsion module actually helped this lander and rover to reach from the orbit of the Earth to the orbit of the moon. Okay, so like it guided the Chandrayaan-3 through that path. Okay, so the thing is like this. Okay, it says lander propulsion module separation, then integrated module phase, injection orbit, lunar orbit insertion, right, and then lunar orbit. I mean, like, you know, these are the phases that we have discussed. I have discussed all of it in detail, right, in our editorial discussion classes, ED classes. We had 2 ED classes. In one ED class, we discussed about all the Chandrayaan missions, right. In second ED class, we discussed about, let's say, like, you know, some of the scientific theories or principles related to space missions. We have discussed about, let's say, like, objectives of Chandrayaan-3. We have discussed about, let's say, how those objectives have been fulfilled. Okay, this is the thing. And you need to write down way forward and give a conclusion to the thing. Okay, so summarize the main achievements and significance of India's third moon mission, emphasize the importance of India's space program and its contribution to lunar exploration. So that's how you could finish the first answer. So it was a 15 marker question. Okay, it was a 15 marker question, and you had to write an answer in 250 words. 250 words. That's the thing. So this is Chandrayaan-3 mission. So we have discussed about Chandrayaan-3. You can go through, let's say, like, you know, the PDF model answer from the description of the YouTube video. And this is how, like, the same question, I have taken it from a question paper, right? Same question from a question paper. And the thing is, like, you know, in previous Chandrayaan missions, we have discussed about, let's say, what is Chandrayaan-1, what was Chandrayaan-2, what was Chandrayaan-3, their objectives, right? Which objectives have been fulfilled, which objectives have not been fulfilled. So these things have been discussed also in detail. So, like, there is one video which is, like, you know, 24th August, the Hindu newspaper analysis. So in this video, we have discussed all the moon missions. So if you have gone through this before writing the mains paper, you might have, let's say, like, you know, been able to write an answer. So as part of this PDF, let's say, like, you know, here, this is a link. If you click on this link, you will be taken to there. This PPT has not yet been uploaded. We will get this PPT also uploaded. Vijay Lal has written, sir, propulsion module will be separated after landing or remain within the lander module itself. Propulsion module has already been separated before the soft landing was done. Okay, the work of the propulsion module was to propel. Propel means to push the let's say the lander and rover module from the earthbound orbit to the lunar orbit, right? Or to conduct a lunar insertion orbit. Then also, let's say on the lunar orbit, it propelled so that it could bring the lander and rover module at a specific location, after which let's say decelerating phase could be performed so that we could head towards a soft landing. So this propulsion module gets separated from the lander module before actual soft landing. Okay, so it has happened already. So Vijay Lal, I hope you understood this thing. Then in the question itself, in the Chandrayaan 3 mission question itself, they have asked about which other countries have performed let's say the soft landing thing. So in the editorial discussion class, we have discussed about, let's say, all the moon missions of many other countries. Moon missions that included soft landing, moon missions that did not include soft landing, all of it we have discussed, right? All of it we have discussed in an editorial discussion class, okay, dated 12th of August. Its link is also given over here, right? You can click over here, you can go through the detail of this particular part as well. I will get this particular PPT also uploaded, this PDF also uploaded. So this is just a screenshot from the Chandrayaan, let's say editorial discussion class that we have taken. Okay, I hope it is visible to all of you. So this is just a screenshot from there. And then in the question, the fourth part of the question was this Vikram Sarabhai Space Center, right, to undertake system checkouts ahead of Chandrayaan 3. So in this, in this particular article, this article came in The Hindu in online version on 13th of July. In the printed format, it came on 14th of July. So 14th of July, I have covered this particular thing in the, let's say in the discussion, The Hindu newspaper analysis. In this particular article itself, they have mentioned about virtual launch control center. They have talked about what are the functions that the virtual launch control center does, right? So this I have discussed earlier with you. You can also, let's say, learn about this. Just you need to click to this link, okay? This has also been discussed before the UPSC Mains exam itself. Okay, we have covered this also. So that's why you need to attend the classes regularly. Okay, we don't know which part of the class may reflect in the paper, right? May reflect in prelims paper, may reflect in mains paper, because every time we come up with a class, we try to cover, let's say, a particular topic from different angles, different perspectives, right? One or two of those perspectives may become important for the mains exam. That's the thing. So with this, we came to another topic. So this is the next question that we are discussing. It says, introduce the concept of artificial intelligence. Very, very basic question from science and technology. Artificial intelligence, we generally teach in the classroom. I have taught about artificial intelligence in our science and technology class in GS Foundation batch, right? So let's go through this question. It says, introduce the concept of artificial intelligence. How does AI help in clinical diagnosis? Do you perceive any threat to privacy of individual in the use of AI in healthcare? So this question has 3 parts. How many parts does it have? 3 parts. One of the parts says, introduce the concept of artificial intelligence. You need to define what is artificial intelligence. You need to talk about what it does. You need to talk about different types of artificial intelligence. So that will fulfill the requirement of the first part, introduce the concept of artificial intelligence. Then second, how does AI help in clinical diagnosis? Now this part of the question talks about application of artificial intelligence in clinical diagnosis. Okay, application of artificial intelligence in clinical diagnosis. So this is the second part of the question. So artificial intelligence does find its application in multiple, let's say areas, multiple fields. One of the areas is in clinical diagnosis. So recently also, it was in news that Niti Aayog has started, let's say, using artificial intelligence for for scanning right? The X-rays of the patients. I mean, like, they have adopted a kind of system. So that was in news, right? So this is the thing. So this is second part of the question. Third part of the question says, do you perceive any threat to in privacy of individuals in the use of AI in healthcare? Means if we use artificial intelligence in healthcare, is it also associated with some kind of threat to privacy of the individuals? Now we need to understand that artificial intelligence systems, they are just machines, okay? Means like you scan a copy of maybe let's say like of a X-ray, of a CT scan, of an MRI scan. The radiologists do it. So after even scanning, like if you don't have any artificial intelligence system, so like they take the MRI scan of the patient, the doctor personally goes through it, the doctor tries to identify if this person has some ailment or not. He uses his intellect to identify this thing. But when we employ the artificial intelligence system in that area, the AI system actually does the work that a doctor does in diagnosis, the doctor does in identifying whether a patient has some kind of ailment. So AI through the algorithm does that part. And once AI does, it becomes very easy for the doctors, because like AI systems are more accurate, because like there is very less likely that there will be error. So the thing is like it is actually helping the human doctors, okay? So it in no way that like poses any kind of serious threat to the privacy of individuals, because like normal individuals would not get their X-ray done, they will not get their CT scan done, they will not get their MRI done. I mean, like, why we will be sharing? If I'm a patient, then I need to get it done once the doctors say. Then I need to share it with the healthcare professionals, doctors, and they are going to analyze this thing. If they are taking the help of the artificial intelligence, are they doing any wrong? No. It is actually advancing the field of medical science, right? It is advancing the field of medical science. Doctors are becoming more, what we say, like, informed through different systems, right? So that's the thing. So it does not pose much risk to it. However, you need to mention some of the risks that may exist, right? So if we talk about answering this particular question, the answer has plain simple three things. You need to write an introduction. What is artificial intelligence? Then in the body you need to answer all the three parts, right? Introduce the concept of AI. So that will be part of introduction also. In the body you can mention about, let's say, benefits of AI and all. Then in the body you need to talk about this, how does AI help in clinical diagnosis? You need to address this part also, threat in privacy of individuals in the body itself. And then finally you need to write down way forward and conclusion, okay? So the thing is, whatever components are there in a question, whatever parts are there in a question, all those parts have to be answered in the body itself, okay? Like concept of AI, let's say clinical diagnosis, all these things. So body, I mean, in the body you need to mention like everything, almost everything. But like, they have made the question so simple that in the introduction itself you can introduce what is artificial intelligence. So if you talk about definition of artificial intelligence, so artificial intelligence, so what is artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence is a set of technologies and computer algorithm that enable computer to perform a variety of advanced functions, right? Advanced functions that typically require human intelligence. That includes the ability of learning, ability of, let's say, like, reasoning, problem solving, and decision making. All of these is done by the artificial intelligence. So this, after writing the definition, you can talk about that artificial intelligence aim to simulate human cognitive functions. Means like whatever cognitive function we perform, it aims to simulate that function. Then it employs machine learning algorithm as well. It employs natural language processing as well. Then it uses computer vision, and artificial intelligence can be used in robotics as well, okay? Robotics, why robotics is important? Because if you talk about clinical diagnosis, right? So there we use robotics also. Nowadays doctors are using robots while performing surgeries of the patients. Means like robots are used, doctors are also there. So it's a kind of hybrid mode of conducting surgeries, because like without human presence, we cannot, let's say, subject a human being to a robot, that robot is going to do everything, because human presence is important. So it's a kind of hybrid operations that the doctors do with the help of robots. Robots bring precision, right? Because like many a times human being while operating, their hand may shake if they're working with some delicate organs of the patient. So that's the thing. So you need to, in the introduction, you need to give a definition of artificial intelligence. You need to talk about, let's say, like what it aims to do, right? And like what are the systems, subsystems of AI, etc. You can mention in the introduction. Then if we talk about artificial intelligence in clinical diagnosis, right? Artificial intelligence in clinical diagnosis. So clinical diagnosis means identification of disease. So the thing is like one of the primary importance of AI is identification of disease. How identification of disease? Through scanning, okay, through scanning of the X-rays, of the CT scans, of the MRI scans, etc. Okay, which is known as magnetic resonance interference, something like that. So MRI scans, CT scans, X-rays, so they are, let's say, scanned through an AI-enabled system, AI-enabled software, and that AI-enabled software is going to do an analysis of the X-ray scan, of the scan, and then it's going to predict that whether a patient has this ailment, that ailment or not, like that. Okay, so risk prediction is also done by AI systems. Drug discovery can be done. Drug discovery means, let's say, like if you have large sets of data related to different drugs. For example, recently we talked about Nipah virus. So what was Nipah virus? I mean, it was recently reported in India. In the state of Kerala, some 6 patients have been identified to have, let's say, come in contact with Nipah. Then 2 people have died. So the thing is like, this Nipah virus, there is no drug for Nipah virus as of now. Means like no vaccine is available in the world that is fully approved. So some vaccines are in developmental stage, not in India, elsewhere in the world, in Australia. So from there, okay, from there what we have done, from there, let's say like we have asked them to share around 10 samples of Nipah vaccine. So it is a kind of mRNA vaccine, okay. So we have brought it, we have, let's say, like, given doses to the patients, but those drugs are not fully approved. They have just gone through phase 1 clinical trial. So this clinical AI in clinical diagnosis, they help in identifying potential drug candidates. Drug candidates means potential drugs that are going to be beneficial against a certain kind of disease, maybe cancer, maybe tumor, maybe, let's say, like, other kind of diseases. Okay, that's the thing. Yes, magnetic resonance imaging, MRI, that's the thing. Then treatment personalization, okay, treatment personalization. Virtual health assistance, okay, virtual health assistance can also be there. There can be systems. We can go to the hospital, let's say there is a system, in this system we can input, we can, let's say, click that like I have this ailment, I need to go to cardiology. In the cardiology also I need to go to this department. Or let's say like I can talk about I want to go to, let's say like, that department which treats the cancer, right? So I want to go to that department, and in the cancer also there can be lung cancer, there can be breast cancer, there can be any kind of cancer, okay, that's the thing. So medical record management can be done in clinical diagnosis. Medical record management means nowadays the government of India has come up with one system which is known as ABHA. It is known as ABHA. I hope it is visible to the lower part. Ayushman Bharat Health Account. Okay, Ayushman Bharat Health Account or ABHA ID is given to the patients. So these ABHA ID, I mean, like, if you want to get a ABHA ID, you need to register yourself with the National Health Authority. Just search ABHA ID, you will be redirected to the National Health Authority website. You need to use your Aadhaar number to create an account over there. Whatever medical conditions you have, let's say like, you have some previous medical condition record, you can upload those things over there. So it will act as digital record. If something happens with you now, so you can share that those records with the hospital directly from your account. So it enables, let's say, record keeping of the medical history of a patient. So that's the thing, medical record management. For that purpose also, artificial intelligence can be employed. Okay, so this is the thing. I have myself created Abha ID for myself, for my let's say mother, for my family members. That's the thing. And telemedicine. Telemedicine is also important. Recently, this one of the telemedicine was in news, which is known as Manas. It was in news on the Mental Health Day. 10th of October every year, we celebrate the World Mental Health Day. Okay, 10th of October. So that's the thing. Okay, 10th of October. So that Manas is a kind of telemedicine that was in news. So the thing is, like, AI does have its applications in clinical diagnosis. So this is one part of the body. Means, like, in the introduction you have talked about the concept of artificial intelligence. In the body you have talked about like how artificial intelligence helps in clinical diagnosis. After writing this, you need to address the second part of the let's say, like, next part of the body, which is like, do you perceive any threat in privacy of individuals in the use of AI in healthcare? So this is another part of the body. So privacy concerns in AI, okay, related to healthcare, okay, in AI healthcare. So what can be the privacy concern? One of the privacy concern is data privacy. For example, I have created my Abha ID over here. I have uploaded my health records over here. But these records are available with one specific agency of the government, which is National Health Authority. What happens if that system itself gets compromised? So my personal data will be compromised. It will be available with the hackers. And I will not be the only person who will be affected. All those Indian citizens who have their, let's say, like, Abha ID created, who have their health record created, right, over here with National Health Authority, all their systems will be compromised. So the thing is, like, there is a concern of data privacy also. Okay, means, like, we need to safeguard the digital infrastructures. Okay, these are known as, let's say, critical digital infrastructure. Okay, so related to critical digital infrastructure also, there have been questions in UPSC. That's the thing. So bias and fairness. Now we need to understand that artificial intelligence system, they work on certain kind of algorithm, and those algorithms are trained with some kind of data sets. So we first create an algorithm. Okay, let me just draw this particular thing. If I talk about the artificial intelligence systems, right, if I talk about AI systems, so AI systems has one thing which is known as algorithm. And these algorithms are trained with data sets. So data sets are given as inputs in the AI systems. And these data sets that we are entering, these data sets, let's say, has some kind of bias. Bias in the sense, it depends what kind of data sets are we training the AI system with. So these data sets itself can be biased. So that's why bias and fairness can be some concern related to AI systems. That's why bias, and that's the thing. Then informed consent is another thing. Informed consent means, for example, I am a citizen of India, I have created this. My data is available with the government, with the National Health Authority. If I want to access my data, I can, let's say, open my account, I can log in into the system, I can access my data. But what happens if the government does not inform me and they themselves scan my data? They may scan my data for any purpose. So that, I mean, like, for that they have not taken any prior informed consent from me. They did not, let's say, inform me that, like, we are going to access your data for this and that purpose. So that's why prior informed consent may be one such specific thing. Okay. Then we have another thing. It says security risks. Security risks we already have discussed. Security risks are associated with the technical frameworks, with the, let's say, critical digital infrastructure. So like those critical digital infrastructure are prone to hacking. If they are hacked by any hacking group, any hacking organization, any hacker, individual hacker, so the data will be compromised. So that's why security risks are there. So that's why there are many security professionals across the world, okay? And security professionals, like data security professionals, are employed by government agencies for protecting their, let's say, like, digital infrastructure. And also regulatory compliance related things are kind of privacy concerns. So there can be many private agencies that can access data from here, Abha thing, or somewhere else, and those data, I mean, like, those private agencies or individuals may not comply with the regulatory framework that is there in India. So that regulatory compliance may be some kind of thing, okay? So recently, it is not related to the health sector, but like recently what has happened, Paytm Payments Bank, you might have heard about. Paytm Payments Bank has been imposed fine by the Reserve Bank of India, okay? So Reserve Bank of India has imposed fine on Paytm Payment Bank. It's not directly related to this topic, but I'm just talking about how regulatory compliance thing. So the thing is, one of the provision of fining the Paytm Payments Bank was that they did not meet the regulatory compliance related to payment banks, okay? So that's why they have been fined. They have been fined about, let's say, 5 to 6 crore rupees fine has been applied by the Reserve Bank of India on Paytm Payment Bank. So that's the thing, okay? So these are the things that, like, you need to learn about artificial intelligence. So here, let's say, like, we have included what is artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence has some sub-parts of fields. One of the part is known as machine learning. Second is known as neural network. Then we have natural language processing. Then we have robotics, okay? This is the thing. Natural language processing, for example, Alexa. You say, Alexa, like, play this song for me. So they are doing natural language processing. ChatGPT, you search something, it gives, let's say, text output. So that's a natural language processing, like that. And also, if you want to translate, like, some text from English or from any language to another language, from English to Arabian, just write down on one box, on the other box you will be having an Arabian. You just need to select the language. So it is doing translation. So that's also a part of natural language processing. Robotics, we have discussed about it. Machines can assist people without actual human involvement. Robotics can be there. In medical facilities, robotics are employed by the doctors to conduct surgeries. So it is kind of augmented surgery where robot is doing and also human being is doing. That's the thing, okay? Neural networks are computer systems that are designed to imitate the neurons in a brain. That's the thing. Machine learning, using sample data to train computer programs to recognize patterns based on algorithm. These are, let's say, some associated things related to artificial intelligence. All right. So having understood this, now let us see some other things also. For example, assistive artificial intelligence, automated artificial intelligence, autonomous artificial intelligence, like that. So as of now, the artificial intelligence that we are using, these are a specific artificial intelligence. Later on, we are thinking of building general artificial intelligence. They will be more advanced system. They will be generalistic in nature. They will be able to, let's say, augment AI results or AI data from one field to another field, like that, okay? So cross-platform AI will be able to reason for itself, like it will be able to imitate human behavior, right, in multiple fronts. That is known as general AI. So as of now, none of the organization has achieved the general artificial intelligence. That's the thing. So if we talk about this question that we have just discussed, I have discussed about this question in a class in science and technology, okay? So this is, let's say, just a screenshot from that class, right? So it was conducted in GS Foundation batch in January 2023, okay? In January of this year. Now we are in October. So 10 months back, 9 to 10 months back, I have covered this topic in the classroom. Artificial intelligence, what are these? Then we have another topic. This topic is again important. This topic, let's say, this question has been asked by UPSC in 2023. It says the adoption of electric vehicles is rapidly growing worldwide. Okay, so this is just a statement. They are saying adoption of electric vehicles is rapidly growing worldwide. What do we mean by electric vehicles? Electric vehicles are those vehicles that run on batteries, basically. Like this can be, let's say, personal vehicle, this can be e-rickshaw that we use, let's say, outside in ORN area. They are also electric vehicles because they run on batteries. That's the thing. So it says the adoption of electric vehicles is rapidly growing worldwide. How do electric vehicles contribute to reducing carbon emissions? And what are the key benefits they offer compared to the traditional combustion engine? Okay. So now, if you want to write an answer to this question, we need to write the introduction. In the introduction, we can talk about what is electric vehicle, what are electric vehicles. We can mention some statistics, some data, some report that has been in news. In the introduction itself, we can talk about what are electric vehicles. That's the thing in the introduction. After giving the introduction, now we need to, let's say, like, answer these parts from how point to this point in the body. One of the part is how do electric vehicles contribute to reducing carbon emission, right? So how electric vehicles reduce carbon emission. So in the answer, you need to write down that some key ways in which electric vehicles contribute to reducing carbon emission and their benefits compared to traditional vehicles. So these are many things. Zero tailpipe emission. What do we mean by zero tailpipe emission? Earlier, we used to have vehicles. For example, if you have a bike, that bike runs on petrol. So in the bike, let's say, like, like near this wheel, there is a, let's say, like, something like, this, what we say, silencer. You might have heard about this. We have silencer. Okay. So silencer means it reduces the noise, and from the silencer itself, let's say, like, you exhaust the internal combustion engines. What it does, it exhausts the gases from here, and these gases also have carbon dioxide, it has other harmful gases, and these gases increase the global temperature. Okay, it increases the global temperature. That's the thing. So electric vehicles, I mean, like, they do not run on these internal combustion engines. They run on motors, basically. Okay, electric vehicles run on motors or on those let's say, like, machines that are not internal combustion engines. Okay, so that so it has zero tailpipe emissions. This is one important thing. Then it lowers the greenhouse gas emissions also, means like the greenhouse gases that are emitted by vehicles, right? So they are not emitted by these electric vehicles. That's the thing. It emitted, but, like, very in less quantity. That's the thing. Then these electric vehicles are energy efficient as compared to internal combustion engines, as compared to those vehicles that have internal combustion engines. So electric vehicles can be integrated with renewable energy. How? Now electric vehicles run on battery, means like we have battery and these batteries are rechargeable. We can recharge these batteries from any electricity plug. These electricity plug, I mean, like, there can be a person who is there in Ladakh. So they do not have any source of, let's say, maybe, let's say, like, they do not have any petrol availability over there. They do have sunlight. What? They do have sunlight. They can have solar panels. From solar panels, they can recharge their batteries. And from those batteries, they can charge the electric vehicles also. So that's the thing. So renewable energy integration can happen. Okay, solar power can be integrated, wind power can be integrated, or thermal power can be integrated. Means like, any kind of power. Means like we just need electricity to recharge or to charge the batteries of electric vehicles. Okay, so renewable energy integration can happen. It reduces the noise pollution also. Electric vehicles, I mean, like, you might have noticed that electric vehicles make lesser noise as compared to other vehicles that run on fossil fuels, because those fossil fuel based vehicles has internal combustion engines. They make huge noise. Many of you might remember Enfield, Royal Enfield, the kind of bike that is known for the noise that it makes, right? So the thing is, like, because of a Supreme Court judgment, Supreme Court said like, we do not want any those bikes or vehicles on the road that makes huge amount of noise. That's why nowadays if you get Royal Enfield or other bikes, it does not make that much sound because they have stopped it legally. So that's why those companies who have been producing, they have been stopped from producing more noise making, let's say, like, bikes and all. So this is the thing. Vijay Lal, can we write some challenges associated with electric vehicles? Yes, you need to write down the challenges also associated with this. Challenges can be written at the later part. I mean, like, initially you write down about how electric vehicles contribute to reducing carbon emission and how, like, what are their key benefits. After writing this, you can write, however, they are also associated with some concerns. So you can write down some concerns or challenges related to it. Challenges may be, let's say, we need to create those systems, grid charging systems, okay? So this is a challenge. It requires huge amount of investment from the government. Not only it requires investment, but also it requires charging facilities at different places, okay? Places should be there, investment in battery technologies should be there, recharging stations are needed. Recently this bike, YOLO bike or Yulu bike, like that, okay, Yulu or Yulu. So this has made in roads also. In China, in Taiwan, they already have it. In India also they started operating. People like in college campuses are using these bikes to go from one place to another place. So these bikes are recharged in the college campus itself. So it becomes a greener campus. That's the thing. Okay. Then the electric vehicles also have lower operating cost because the fossil fuel based vehicles, we need to import the fossil fuel from somewhere else. They're connected with, they are associated with more, let's say, emission. What emission? Greenhouse gas emission. They're costly, they're, let's say, harming the environment. But these electric vehicles are, let's say, they need lower operating cost. That's the thing. And enhanced energy security. Why enhanced energy security? It is because even if we don't have fossil fuel based energy, still we'll be able to operate electric vehicles because we can recharge the electric vehicles, we can recharge the batteries from solar power cells, we can recharge the batteries from windmills, we can recharge it from, let's say, hydropower, hydroelectricity. That's the benefit of having electric vehicles. So they have enhanced energy security. Then Government of India also gives rebates, incentives, rebates. You might have heard about that in 2019, 2021, 22, during the budgets, the Finance Minister of India, Nirmala Sitharaman, has multiple times announced that we are going to reduce the tax on electric vehicles, on those companies who are making components for electric vehicles, on those companies that are, let's say, manufacturing batteries. So instead of applying 28% taxes, they have just applied 5% taxes on electric vehicles. So this incentivizes those sectors, those people who are working in this sector, electric vehicle sector, to manufacture more, to sell more. And it incentivizes people also to adopt it because they will find it easy to purchase an electric vehicle. They will find it easy to recharge it. Okay. So that's the thing. So government gives incentives and rebates to people. Then advancement in battery technology. Okay, so we already have battery technology, but with the advent of electric vehicles, there are many companies who are working in the battery technology. So the thing is, battery technologies are also being advanced, right? This is the thing. So electric vehicles does have long-term sustainability as well as compared to fossil fuel based things, because it is estimated that the fossil fuel based things are going to exhaust. Because fossil fuel sources, all those Gulf countries that are, let's say, selling petroleum to other countries, so they are extracting the petroleum, they're extracting the natural gas, they're extracting those fossil fuels from the underground, and they are getting depleted day by day. There will be a day where, those fossil fuels will be exhausted. So they are exhaustible, let's say, energy resources. However, if we talk about these things, if we talk about electric vehicles, so they are sustainable, they have long-term sustainability. So with that point of view also, this is electric vehicles are more important. Okay. So after writing all these things, right? After writing all these things, you can talk about the concerns also associated with electric vehicle. So concerns I have included in the, let's say, description, in the model answers that we have uploaded in the description of this YouTube video. Download the model answer and go through it. So Chirag has written something, national battery swapping policy also one of the measure. Yes. So he has talked about one of the measure that has been taken by the government of India in this regard. We can briefly write challenges in conclusion part with suggesting some way forward. Yeah, this can be done. Okay, in the conclusion part, you can write down some challenges and you can write down the way forward related to this. So this is how, let's say, you can answer this question. So this is a very, like, these questions are very easy questions. You can attempt writing these questions, right? I mean, like, you can attempt writing previous year questions, and then you will understand that, like, what is the nature of questions that UPSC is asking. Now let us discuss about how to prepare science and technology as a subject. I'll be very brief in sharing my ideas related to science and technology. So it says cover UPSC, so you need to cover UPSC syllabus to, let's say, prepare science and technology. Go through the syllabus part that we have discussed in the beginning, 3-point syllabus. Learn the syllabus line by line. It should be there in your head, right? This is the first thing. After then, you need to read the NCERT books of science and technology. The 9th standard NCERT book, 10th standard, 11th and 12th standard, okay? So from 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th. Read the science and technology NCERT books. This will be one part of the preparation. Then you need to read newspaper also. Read newspaper. Which newspaper? Preferably read the Hindu newspaper. Which newspaper? The Hindu newspaper. Read it. And the Hindu newspaper started coming with science and technology related topics. Okay, science and technology related topics on Sundays. On Sunday, you will find the Hindu newspaper with full of science and technology articles. And on other days, right, in the e-paper format, they have one specific page that is related to science and technology. So the Hindu newspaper plays a very important role, and all the questions that have been asked in UPSC Mains exam, these topics have been there in news, and these topics have been there in the Hindu newspaper as well, specifically. Okay, that's the thing. Then, if possible, attend the science and technology classes at Lukmaan IAS, and you can prepare science and technology notes from the classes. You can prepare other notes from these resources, the NCERT, the Hindu newspaper, etc. And also, you need to do value addition on the notes from time to time. Whenever an update comes, whenever a new thing comes, add value to it in your note. Make this sticky notes. Okay, you can maintain sticky notes to do value addition on science and technology, right? That's the thing. Then you need to revise these notes regularly. Whatever you have read, you need to revise also, because like human mind tends to forget previous information. Why? Because like we have this random access memory type of memory, means like, information comes, previous information goes. There are some specific information that remains with us. So it is important that you revise to refresh your mind, right, with the information. You need to practice previous year questions also. Previous year questions, I mean like of 2023, 22, 21, at least prepare last 5 to 8 years of previous year question. That will help you to understand the nature of questions that UPSC is asking, and also the trend you will be able to understand, right? That's the thing. And after then, you need to write test as well. Okay, writing test makes you understand how much you are able to reproduce in the examination, how well you are able to perform. If we just keep on reading, if we do not write test, we find it very difficult, right, to attempt the paper, to attempt all the questions in the paper. So it is very important that you need to write the test also, okay, regularly. That's the thing. So that's all from my side for the day. So now I'll be available for any questions if you have. If you have any questions, you can ask me. I'll try to answer those questions. And with that, we will conclude our session today. So any questions, anyone who has? Chirag has written, thank you so much for this session. It was a productive session, sir. Can I get the Lukmaan IAS Science and Technology notes? Definitely, we will discuss on it, how to get the notes and all. Okay, so notes, with the notes, once you come to the classes, we will discuss about it. All right. So that will be all from my side for the day. Thank you so much, Chirag. I'll definitely help you with the notes as well. Okay. So that will be all from my side for the day related to science and technology. So with this, we will conclude the session. Can we write interrelated aspects in science and technology, sir? Definitely, Vijay Lal, like, we can write interrelated topics, and science and technology is a very much interrelated field. You might have seen in the first slide, in the first few slides that I have discussed, I have discussed those questions that are directly from science and technology. I have discussed those topics also that have interrelation with other fields. Okay, so in science and technology answer, you can connect it with other domains. So connectivity comes when you analyze a specific topic from different dimensions, from different sources, then you will be able to connect. Okay, so it is important to connect, interconnect or interrelate different aspects in science and technology. It's very important. Okay, so yes, any other question for me? Okay, so that will be all from my side for the day. Thank you so much once again to all of you who have participated in this session online, and to all of you who are going to watch this video at a later point of time. All right, so thank you so much. Hope you have a good day ahead. Thank you.